It's been a very busy summer here at Grasshoppers, as it usually is. We have brought in 9 brand new players. A whole load of players as well have left the club. We've had our Champions League group draw, and it's basically the same group as last year, except instead of Olympiacos, we have PSG. I think we're not getting through the Champions League this season. Also, very briefly, St. Gallen and Basel have made it into the Europa League, and Young Boys have made it into the Europa League 2 group stages. So we have a lot of representation from the Swiss sides in Europe this season. Let's talk about transfers. First of all, somewhat unexpectedly, Jan Sommer has retired. Even though he had a year left on his contract, he's given up. But that does mean that Gavin Bazunu will be our number 1 goalkeeper once again, and he's already played 6 games, getting 3 clean sheets. In no particular order then, players joining the club. Denilson Lasada is a 20-year-old Colombian centre-back with 5 caps to his name. He turned up on the Next Gen award thing. He is 6'6". He is ridiculous. He is absolutely ridiculous. There were some big teams that came in for him, but we were, I assume, the only team that actually offered him first-team football. He has only cost us £1 million. That's a bargain. We brought Mateo Matic back to the club because, you know, Swiss goalkeeper and all that. We brought in Yannick Torre to the club and then loaned him out to Kosovo in, I think, the 3rd tier. So he's not very good, apparently. He was at Newcastle a few seasons ago. Never played, apparently. So there is that. Another Swiss player that has come into the club, this one is mainly for tutoring purposes, is Fabian Schär, now 34 years of age, will be 35 come the end of the season, brought in on a free transfer. Another free transfer is Kevin Schlotterbeck. He is the brother of the good one, which is Nico Schlotterbeck. They're actually weirdly similar. They're weirdly similar at football, just Nico's a lot better. Kevin is probably going to sit on the bench for the most part, but he's a very good option, 29 years of age, experienced defender. For about £2.5 million, we have gone over to Rapid Vienna in Austria and signed a Bosnian striker and immediately loaned him out to Sarajevo. He's good. He's very good. There is definitely potential there. That is why I brought him in. I'm annoyed that we couldn't loan him out to anybody in Switzerland. That was the goal. Nobody wanted him, so he's off to Sarajevo. For a little bit more money, for £3.4 million roughly, Sami Tlili, might be his name, is signed from Bayern Munich. He is a German right-back, 6'1", so he's a big unit. I don't know whether this is a good idea. There were a lot of very good teams sniffing about him, so I thought, you know what, let's just go for it. It was a minimum fee release, is why he's cost us so much money. I'm starting to doubt whether it was a good idea or not. And now my 2 favourite signings of the summer, both of them on free transfers. Jayden Braff, 24 years of age, signed for Manchester City. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, 5 goals, 1 assist in 5 starts and 1 off the bench. Jayden Braff is scoring goals. He is scoring a lot of goals. And he's arguably not our best signing. That would be a Mr. Harvey Elliott. 23 years of age, released. I say released, he ran out of contract at the end of the season from Liverpool. We've picked him up. He's getting paid £25,000 a week, which is a lot. It's not Brenner levels of money, but it's still a lot of money. I think Harvey Elliott could be an absolute superstar for us. That is the players joining the club, then leaving the club. We have brought in £8.25 million, and some big names have gone out, but for some big money. Montiel to Valladolid for £5.5 million. Sene to Lech for £5.5 million. Farid Kaba to AC Milan for £4 million and a 50% sell-on in that one. Liam Scales going back to Scotland for £2.6 million. Zagreb to Lugano, staying in Switzerland. That's a big deal. Eddie Salcedo going to Verona. He was the world's greatest box-to-box midfielder, and then we just couldn't ever register him, could we? Noah Loosely going to Servette. A few players sort of lower down the pecking order, shall we say, going to various clubs. Mamana leaving, going to Al Duhail. A few other people leaving on free transfers. And then a whole host of loan deals. A lot of these are going to be important loan deals for development. Players with stars next to their names, I think, are players who are going to be very good. And I should probably stick a star next to Smaljevic. And Fabian does things to people. There has to be a way to say that without making it sound like how it is definitely going to sound if I say it. And that's my solution. We're going to call him Double F. He's gone out on loan to YF Juventus, who aren't any affiliation to Juventus, but they do wear black and white stripes. It's weird. I don't know why. And before we play the Milan game, you can take a quick look there at the results that we have had. We kicked off the season with a 4-2 win against St. Gallen and Jayden Braff scoring a hat-trick. Brenner as well, getting goals, as we know we should be expecting that from Brenner. getting goals basically all over the pitch. We have just lost our first game of the season against Basel. Kind of disappointing, but Basel are very good. We're currently second place in the table because Young Boys haven't lost a game and we have. So even though we sent Farad Kaba off to Milan, he's not going to be playing today because he's actually gone out on loan. Our starting 11, I think, is very strong. We are missing Hamza Rafia, which means we're going to be playing Alex Jankovic just behind our striker. Everyone else is the best player in the best position for our team. That's a lie. That's a complete lie. We're also missing Kapsevich because he's not fully match fit. We are playing, what's his name? Caicedo in the middle of the pitch alongside Lucien Agume, which also might not be how his name is pronounced. We are 15 minutes in and we've got the first highlight. We have been absolutely dominant when it comes to match stats, and the first highlight actually goes AC Milan's way. But when you look at the stats, we've had 7 shots, 3 on target. We haven't had a highlight go our way. PSG have taken the lead against Ajax, which is no real surprise to anybody. Jankovic chests the ball down just inside our half, 22nd minute. Lasada on the ground to Caicedo. He's lumped it forward. It's a good run from Brenner. Controls it well. It's a good block from the defender, who I'm not going to try and pronounce that name at all. Theo Hernandez's throw to Thomas Lamar on the left. Crosses it in. Immobile is there. So they've just signed Ciro Immobile, who I assume is now 45 years old. Riddle Baku with it across to Hernandez. Loads and loads of space. We were not paying attention at all. It's Hernandez on the ground to Rooney. Lasada with a very good block. Schmid gets it clear a little bit further. Half time then, 0-0. Even though, XG-wise, it should be 1-1, it is currently 0-0. And we're looking good. We are genuinely looking good. There's definitely a goal in this game. I'm pleased with the number of shots we've been having. Do something. I think Jankovic's probably not the man to be playing there, is he? They recommend Billing, but we're going to go for Tim Weah. One thing as well that I tried to do in the summer was I tried to build a team that I could register. There are still a couple of players who aren't registered who I realistically wanted to register, but for the most part, we've got all of our players registered that we needed to. It is Rooney into the penalty area, goes off to the right-hand side, back to Riddle Baku on the ground. It's Amin Gouiri, and Gouiri makes it 1-0 to Milan 30 seconds into the second half. That is a kick in the teeth. Free kick for Milan in I'd say a good position. It's not a good position, it's literally in their own half. We are 2 minutes into the second half and Immobile makes it 2-0. Whatever the Milan managers said to the team at half-time has clearly worked because they have come out firing. We are struggling. Schmid is having a poor game. Braff, Tim Weah also playing badly, but that's Tim Weah for you. Joan Khan with a free kick, 63rd minute. Caicedo ball towards Elliott. He's not going to get anywhere near it. It's all the way back with the Milan keeper. Tamori. Back to Magnan. I still don't know how to say his name. They're passing it. They're definitely passing it around the two players who I can't pronounce the name and Tamori. Lamar all the way back to the keeper. Kick over the halfway line. We need to win that head, and Big Joan Khan does. Caicedo collects it. Right-hand side is Harvey Elliott. Can we see some magic? Finds Pershers. We're not playing full strength at all, are we? We're missing Alan Aragoni as well. Tim Weah on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Crosses it in. Brenner is there. And Big Brenner makes it 2-1. I don't think he's big, is he? His name begins with a B, and I just decided to alliterate. He's 5'9". I mean, he's still technically bigger than me. This game is not dead. I think if we can do ourselves another change, we should take off Braff because he's struggling big time. Al Jazawi. Now, that is a potential game changer. Schmid, we've got no left-backs. We've got no left-backs at all. What do we do here? Schlotterbeck? If you've got a left foot at least, you've got a left foot. That'll do. I think one of the problems as well is Gavin Bazunu's on a 6'5", isn't he? It's, 12 minutes or so left to play. Milan again with the ball, but it's still deep in their own half. Leao's controlled it well, though. Off towards their left-hand side. Pershers is with him. It's crossed towards Rooney at the back post. Gone over absolutely everybody. But Rooney can cross it in. Leao's going to probably get there first, and he does. And Brahim Diaz makes it 3-1. Pershers there was awful, wasn't he? Pershers really should have done something against Leao. Didn't bother. Bazunu's on a 6'3". Are we really... he's been actually pretty decent at the start of the season. And then the moment we play somebody who's a little bit difficult, Gavin Bazunu just decides he's playing for Portsmouth again and turns into a League One goalkeeper. He's currently on a 6.2. Bazunu is... I was going to say he's going to become the scapegoat, but I feel like he is the scapegoat. He is, he's playing poorly. He's on a 6.2. He's conceded 4 goals. And we probably should not be 4-1 down. Brenner's in on goal. Brenner makes it 4-2. Does he make it 4-2? I don't think he does. I think it's getting disallowed. Well, the Champions League's going to be tough this season, isn't it? Bazunu's going to get a little bit of a talking to after this match. We do have a young Swiss goalkeeper who might actually break into the first team if Bazunu keeps putting performances like that. So frustratingly as well, they're saying poor finishing has cost us. We get an XG of 2.1, concede 4 goals to an XG of 2. So yeah, poor finishing is definitely an issue. Let's try and improve things then. Against Ajax, we have gone for a pretty strong team. We've got a few options back. Alan Aragoni has returned from his injury, not fully fit, but we're going for him. We're also playing Enrico Fleury as our goalkeeper. Lucien Agume will be playing as our shadow striker as well. Basically, I've already decided that we're not going to do well in the Champions League. We need to finish third, and to do that, we need to beat Ajax twice. That's essentially all we need to do. Like, that's an easy task. Just beat the champions of Holland a couple of times. 25 minutes in, there's been 4 shots and 0 highlights so far. I mean, we should be doing better than this. Defensively, we're picking up some good numbers. Khan and Lasada actually picking up some very good numbers. Going forward, we are struggling. Elliott, Agume and Braff, all on 6-6s or even 6-5s. It's Fleury to Lasada, forward to Kapsevich, who scored twice in a match against, I've forgotten, St. Gallen, maybe? I don't think it was St. Gallen. Kapsevich with a long ball forward, chested down by Brenner. The effort is saved, but Brenner's there to pick up the pieces. I wasn't expecting him to get on the end of that. It's 1-0 against Ajax. If this is how it ends, this is a good result. Seconds away from the half-time whistle, and we do have another highlight, but it is going Ajax's way. Martha he doesn't lose out to Lasada, and Chiara's there. It is 1-1. Lasada really should have stole the ball there. How did we not stop that cross coming in? And that was the last action of the first half. It's 1-1. Away from home, actually 1-1 doesn't sound too bad, but we should be winning these games. Agume, not happy with your performance. Elliott and Jaden Braff, you weren't bad. I believe you can improve. I feel like I shouldn't be doing that. They were already fired up and composed and everything. I shouldn't be keeping talking to them and potentially ruin it. Tagliafico to the keeper. Back from Kapsevich though. Lasada, the big 6'6" defender. Schmid to Lasada once again. Back to Schmid, forward. Brenner on the ground to Harvey Elliott. Takes a touch. His effort is straight at the keeper. It's going to be a corner. We are struggling to fill that shadow striker role. That seems to be the problem. Raffia is still out injured, and I think we are missing Hamza Raffia massively at the moment. Also, Jaden Braff has decided that when I put the camera on, when I hit the record button, he's not going to show up. Right, Agume's proved to me that he can't do that job. Petar Pusic, let's try you in that position. Or do we do that? Is Harvey Elliott the piece of the puzzle that we've been missing? He's not the best as a shadow striker, although it's only finishing, and we don't really need our shadow striker to do finishing, which sounds stupid. He's not going to have long to try and make an impression, though, because he is running out of fitness and obviously playing poorly on a 6-5. It's a goal kick for Fleury. Khan's going to go for a run. The Liechtensteiner ball forward towards Pusic is not very good. And Darami's now running towards goal. Fleury goes for a dive. It's gone wide of his post anyway. Stays 1-1. And Harvey Elliott also can't play as a shadow striker by the looks of it. Right, next up, Brutan's coming on. Going to play as a right winger. Pusic is now going to try his luck in the middle of the pitch. We've got one more sub to do, which is most likely going to be Jaden Braff. But I don't think we've got any wingers who can come on for him. Martinez to Klaassen, forward to Martha. Plays it on the ground. It's Daley Blind and Enrico Fleury with a very good save from the young goalkeeper. Aragoni's on a 6-5. We've got Jaden Braff on a 6-6 now. He was on a 6-5 seconds ago. Final 5 minutes of the game. Daley Blind, I assume it's Daley Blind with the ball. Down the line to Yeppe Kjær. Into the penalty area. Darami's there. And Fleury can hold on. Enrico Fleury is having a very good game. He's on a 6.9. He was on a 7 seconds ago. It's Blind with the ball. Jurien Timber. Ball forward to Davy Klaassen. Now Martinez is going to go for a long ball forward. Fleury. Lovely composed bit of goalkeeping there from the youngster. Schmid to Jaden Braff. Facing away from goal. Pusic. He's been tackled by Davy Klaassen. Schmid to Lasada. There's a winning goal in this. And I'm worried that it's going to go towards Ajax. Fleury's well outside of his penalty area, which I love and also hate. It's Aragoni down the right-hand side. There are 5 black shirts in the box. If he can just get his cross in, he's found Schmid. If Dominic Schmid can do something, that'll be impressive. Kapsevich is there, and oh my word, the young central midfielder almost steals the 3 points. We get a corner. Can we get something from it? Petar Pusic is the man. Left-footed from the left-hand side. front of the goal. It was, I'm not even sure who that was. I assume it was Lasada coming in because he's an absolute freight train at the back. It's a 1-1 draw. It's a 1-1 draw with Ajax. Again, we've had the XG and not scored the goals. How can we start scoring these goals? Now, we should be looking at things like this. It looks like Brenner's having a lot of shots. He's had 7 shots, but only 57% of them on target. So what's that? 4 of the 7 have been on target. You've also got, whoever that was, Harvey Elliott had 2, but only 1 was on target. It's Brenner. Brenner needs to take his chances more, which is ridiculous because he scores loads of goals. So after 2 matches in the Champions League group stage, we do find ourselves at 3rd place. That's where we want to finish, but we are obviously joint on points with Ajax. Next matches, we've got PSG twice. Next episode, we're going to do that PSG game and possibly the Ajax game. I guess that's going to be the sort of the decider. If we can get anything from that match there, that's going to be the decider. Before we finish, though, I want to just have a look at Brenner. How can I get him to score more goals? There's going to be some form of trait. I don't use traits. I really should use traits, but I don't use them. Just shoot, just blast it. Place them. That's a good approach. Thanks, Harold. Is that a good idea? I have no idea. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll be back next time with more Building a Nation with Switzerland and Grasshoppers.